Alhamdulillah. Phew. Alhamdulillah. Right. Oh, cleansing the space, releasing some negative energy, releasing some internal blockages. Welcome in. So, let me just see. We're going to be doing some energy healings. Ooh. Bless me, clearing. Oh, when you release internal blockages, negative energy, in order for you to have a blockage active, in order for you to have backlash, energetic backlash, psychic attack, you have to have resonance within yourself. You've got to have an internal blockage that is a relationship to that. Zara, hello, welcome in. So welcome, nice to see you. So in preparation for the healings, I'm just burning some bay leaf. Powerful, very, very powerful. I know a lot of people know about sage, but the bay leaf, to clear away negative energy, to release attachments, powerful. So we're clearing out some of the energy to prepare and to create space for the healings we're about to do, and I welcome you all in. So we're going to do some channeled energy healings for those of you who would like to receive one. And we're clearing the space. And if you don't know, Mercury is in retrograde as of 17th July, so a lot of old stuff comes up. You know, when you are facing karma, you healing a blockage, you are clearing out energy in a particular area in your own life. There's usually, do you believe in hedgehogs? Hedgehogs? A hedgehog is an animal with the spiky stuff, isn't it? So yeah. Are you sure you're talking about hedgehogs, the animal? Or are you talking about something else? Hedgehogs. So when you are processing and clearing away something in a particular area, or you're very passionate about something, we are all connected. We're not separate. So every subject is two subjects. It's the wanted and it's the unwanted. And so we're going to attract situations, attract people with mindsets, attract people with that exist on the opposite spectrum of the subject than us, to give us an opportunity to face some of our own triggers, to clear out some of the toxic beliefs, to reinvestigate our own beliefs, to take a look at whether or not we might want to shift or adapt our perspective. There is no infinite and absolute truth. Yes, absolutely. But do you believe in their spirit? Oh, sorry. So I believe in everything that is created by Source. Yes. I don't. So what you mean is the energy of the hedgehog. So every animal carries an energy. Yes, the spirit animal brings you based on their characteristics, their how they exist in the wild. Um, they bring you lessons. They bring you medicine. Yes, I do. Carlo, hello. Why are you crying? I'm actually sneezing. I was sneezing. It's my allergies. I'm not crying. Um, I was just clearing the energy and burning some bay leaf, and so clearing some negative energy. All right. Hello, Sebastian. Yes, Naske, Naskokefa, the spiritual capacity of the hedgehog. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Do you want to share a bit of that? All right, so I'm welcoming everyone who would like to be a part of a channeled energy healing. If you'd like to receive, to clear something, maybe you have a symptom or you have a physical ailment that you're struggling with or that you're challenged with, all right? Our body communicates with us through our symptoms. When we develop dis-ease in our body, it is because your inner being is letting you know that you are ready to set yourself free from that emotional blockage or whatever it is that is causing disharmony in that energy center. Usually, the physical condition can be linked to an emotional experience, an emotional trauma, an emotional, uncomfortable emotional experience. And so it is your inner being's way of letting you know it's not. So normally when we have symptoms, uncomfortable symptoms in the body, we go to the doctor, they diagnose us with something, they give it a name. And we think, okay, now I am afflicted by this thing that's come over me, that is happening to me, and I've got to live with it forevermore. But if we change how we look at it, we can begin to realize that nothing is happening to us, it's happening for us, and it's your body's way of letting you know, hey, we're ready to clear this out. This is not a death sentence. This is not a sentence for you to just accept suffering forevermore. This is an opportunity. I once had a very deep connection with a hedgehog, and it helped me clean my body entirely through an ancient ritual that was shared with me, by an old lady in my. Oh, that's beautiful. So, this animal comes to connect with you at the perfect time and supports you through clearing something energetically. That's really beautiful. Just Sandra, hi. I think that it's really precious to understand that everything in the universe is here to support us. When we begin to look at creation through its connectivity and not its separation, our worlds begin to change. An entire universe of opportunity and healing opens up to us. But unfortunately, a lot of our old program is separation consciousness. And as humans, we don't often consider how everything is linked, the synchronicities and everything. So it's really good. I love you in video. Okay. Thank you. So thank you for sharing that story with us. I think that's really special. Perhaps that will inspire everyone to reconsider when an animal comes into your space to think it's just random, because it's not. Nothing just happens randomly. They bring medicine. They bring the spirit comes to serve you in your healing, in your growth. Mr. Main, I heard when cats disappear, they actually left you with your spiritual demons. Wow, that's an interesting perspective. That's a very interesting perspective. Hey, Lilith. Cats, I don't know if that resonates with me, Mr. Main, but I mean, as I said before, there's no absolute truth. Um, Many things can be true, and it can depend on the circumstances. Cats, I think cats resonate with and bond with beings who they can who they have a spiritual connection with. So for example, cats, yes, they can see into the spiritual realm. They're very, very powerful in repelling and warding off evil spirits, and helping you to clear your energy. So if you're someone who is sensitive to that kind of energy, perhaps you're a healer, you're an energy worker, you are a witch, a person that works with the elements, energy, you are a magician, you are a seer, then a cat will come and live with you as a familial and stay with you because of the work you do and the support that that cat then offers. If you're very, very sensitive, you will be very open and sensitive to psychic attack as well, depending on your practice and on the ley lines within the grids within the planet too. So then your cat will come and keep your support your energy field. But if you're not, if that's not your calling, let's say if you are here to and you carry the energy of the archetype of the fool, you're a comedian, an artist, so your medicine is through it is about interpretation and expression. It's the subconscious connection. Then maybe a cat, so it really depends on the energy and your energy. Then perhaps what would be better suited to you is a dog, right? Maybe you need more clearing in the 3D, right? So dogs are really good for that. If you struck, so for me, I'm 100%, I'm comfortable in the spiritual realm. There's nothing that I'm afraid of in the spiritual realm. If I go to people's houses to cleanse, I see entities going to sit on the roof. They don't stay in the same space as me. My energy field is very protected. So I would like to have a cat because I feel I'm a more of a cat personality, but it makes sense to me why a cat hasn't come to me and a dog's come to me instead, because I'm less comfortable with human beings. I'm on the autistic spectrum. I'm really, really different. I see the world through a different lens. I can't do small talk. Human beings, I love you. But yes, I get irritated and I don't do crowds and I can't do long bursts with human beings. Human beings carry a lot of dense energy and I'm having to navigate that all the time when I'm around humans. The spiritual realm, I don't have that. I love it, I'm comfortable there. Whether you see that as a good thing or a bad thing, irrelevant to me, but it makes more sense to me why I have a dog, because that dog helps supports my physical body, not my spiritual body. My physical body takes more of a knock, and dogs tend to do that. So I think when a cat leaves you, when a cat disappears, it's because they have a relationship with maybe another person that needs them more energetically, and they feel called to that person's spirit, and maybe you don't need their their support in that way. So the animal that is meant to serve, or because they have intuition, animals have stronger intuitions than us, they will come into your reality. Do you assist animal cleansing, to cleanse an animal's energy? Is that what you mean, Lilith? I struggle the same way, too much of a sponge in the density that makes me feel unwell. Although humans are fascinating but can only handle small doses, yes. I mean, I feel about humans the way I do technology. I love it. I wouldn't be able to do my work without it. Technology makes life easier, but it's not comfortable for me. My relationship in the spiritual, my me existing in the spiritual realm, oh my gosh, I'm a master there, you know. I am confident there. But with technology, I'm careful. I'm not sure that I'm going to do the right things. I make a lot more mistakes before I get things right. So I get that. Yes, love, to cleanse an animal's energy. Okay, so what I know based on communication with source, animals, uh, frequency, right? Animals, you might see your cat as an individual cat, or your dog as an individual dog, and your hamster as an individual hamster, but animals have they're a collective. That's why usually in nature you will see them together, right? If you think about the spider, for example, who's alone, seems to be alone most of the time. Once her eggs are laid, she dies, right? Um, Even when you don't see them physically together, they're a collective. They are connected in a grid like trees, exactly. So what that means is, if you take that into consideration, and you take into consideration the fact that they're of a much higher frequency, they're the same energy frequency as spirit guides. They've just incarnated into this body, so you can actually call them angels if you want to. You will find archangels in the 12th dimension. You will find spirit guides anywhere from 6 up to 9. So they have a very high frequency. They don't need us to cleanse them at all. When a dog gets cancer, there was a choice made spiritually between you and that dog to take some of your stuff. Now that you can interpret that in any way you want. You can interpret it through shame and shortage and lack and guilt, but it's not that way for them. Exactly, soul contract. So animals do not need us to cleanse them. In fact, they create a strong barrier for us. We're the ones that are being served by them. So when people come to me because they feel like animals need to be saved, oh, animals need to be saved, and I get the love, and I get that because I'm fierce like that about children because they're vulnerable. But I have to remind myself and I have to remind other people that they're not vulnerable spirits. They're ancient souls. They're a lot more, they're gods and goddesses. They're a lot more evolved than us. They don't need us to cleanse them. We have deities walking amongst us, living amongst us in the form of animals. So they don't need us to hey Shanae, they don't need us to cleanse them at all. So yeah, we can communicate with them, we can read their energy, what it is they want to communicate. But make no mistake, when an animal decides, when an animal has or develops a physical condition or a disease, it is by design. That animal said, I'm coming into that body that's going to take that disease at that point in time. Remember, the animal's soul is not attached to the body. It's just us as humans that attach to our bodies as if this is everything. So when we get sick, it's like, oh my God, this is so terrible. Why is it happening to me? But it's our ego that does that. Animals don't have an ego. They are deities walking amongst us, and that's why some religious programming has put them in a position beneath us and put us in a hierarchy and separated us from them, like moved us away from nature where we lived amongst them into our clinical houses where we are like queens on a pedestal. We don't connect to the earth, we don't connect to animals. People that don't like animals, red flag. Red flag. I used to be someone that was uncomfortable with animals. I'm so glad I'm not that version of me anymore, because people who want things to be super clinical and perfect, prim and proper, and the nose is up there, very dangerous people. They are a mess inside. It's like a house that's beautifully painted, and when you walk into it, there's blood, guts, gore everywhere. It's dirty, it's a mess. The walls are cracking. You'll think it's a haunted house. A big red flag, yes, yes. And it's not a judgment, it just is what it is. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, so don't worry. Your animals don't need you to cleanse them. Honor them the way they honor you. Just honor them. Yeah. So, my daughter thinks that because anyone that watches me from the outside will probably think I'm a very good dog person, but my dog is safe with me, my dog is loved, but my dog knows he needs to check with me if I want to be touched. That's just because I'm autistic. I don't like people just to show me affection without warning or to just touch me. Okay? That's just the way that it is. I need to know. My brain needs to be prepared. So my dog knows that. My dog has a lot of anxiety. Like he's very energetic and alert, and there's some anxiety, and I know that he's here to help me absorb a lot of the frequency of the planet at the moment, because my body struggled with it. That's why I had fibromyalgia, and I don't have much symptoms now. So yes, I support myself, but I know my dog has come and said, right, you're going to struggle with humanity, because you pick up on a lot of humanity's energy and then you process it and you filter it. And human beings don't like to deal with their shit. So it's going to be a lot. And the frequency of the planet is going to elevate. And Mother Earth is going to have panic attacks. And it's going to be a lot for your physical vessel. I'm coming in to support you with that. And that's why my dog came into my life. So maybe a little later I'll have a cat, but I'm really good in the spiritual realm. I'm good with that. There's nothing there that I'm uncomfortable with. I can travel from one dimension into the next, like like I'm just hopping a bus, not even. So there is such wisdom in our universe. Here's my son's soul essence came in that way, because he told me he's coming to be a part of my spirit team. And the interesting thing is, my dog loves everything, but I can see how excited he gets when we make popcorn. And when I channel my uh, son's spirit, he says, I love it when you watch TV and eat popcorn. So, yeah. And that baby would have been born in Leo season, and my dog is called Leo. So, yep. Right, guys. So, if anyone wants to receive, if you're struggling with a symptom, if you're struggling with an ailment, and you'd like to receive some channeled energy healing, you are welcome to volunteer. Put your symptom or what it is you need support with into the comment section, and we can do that. I'm opening up the space for that. If you want to continue the conversation about animals, we can do that too. It's entirely up to you guys. So I had a crow. I took a walk to go and get wool because I like to crochet. And I saw a crow, which I haven't seen in a really long time, because number one, I'm a hermit. I don't leave the house unless I have to, or unless it's, yeah, like a excursion into nature or something. I and I wanted to take a walk to get wool, and it's been raining, so I'm not just going out for nothing. And I took a walk and whatever, and I saw this crow with this white belly. I forgot the name. It's quite, apparently it's, I read up on it, I googled it, so apparently it's indigenous to South Africa. And he flew up close to me and he was quite big. I think it was a him. I felt his energy. I sensed his energy was masculine. And then I looked up because I was quite surprised. This one crow that I'm seeing flying close by, and he spread his wings, flew off, and he came back around, circled in front of me to sit on the light pole so that I can walk underneath him. And he looked down at me just to confirm, yes, I'm here for you. And the crow, when the crow visits, watchers visit us in the form of crows. Do you guys know who the watchers are? Watchers watch us, watch over us, visit us in the form of crows very often. When you are being watched from other dimensions, from other galaxies, from other realms, they often show up in the form of the crow. Can you speak to the overwhelming sadness in the air? And I just, oh, okay. So, yesterday, when I went to sleep, the night before yesterday, hi, Brian, welcome in. So to answer your question, Elif, and I think this is a very good question for all of us right now, I felt it yesterday. So when I went to sleep the night before, what I am aware of is that when we go to sleep, we leave our bodies, we travel into other dimensions with our consciousness, and some people actually astral travel. So I'm aware of those visitations that I make when I sleep, and I've been more intentional about when I wake up in the morning, supporting my body to calibrate to my consciousness being fully into it, because I feel like we just come into the body and it's such a shock. So I've been more deliberate about my morning processes, and I would advise that you guys do the same, where you just do some breathing before you pick up your phone, before you do anything else, and you connect to the body, and you will begin to feel how it feels like you're settling into yourself. But what I noticed the night before, you want to know if you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Maybe you want both. Maybe you want both, Brian. That's okay too. So, the night before, I was fully aware of of something happening. And when I asked Spirit, what was that? Because when I woke up, I was feeling quite disturbed. The anxiety that I felt in the collective, the anxiety that I felt in my body, and it felt like there was something being pierced into my chest. So that heaviness, they told me that we move through a loop. And what is the date today? All right, so today is the 17th. Today, Mercury entered retrograde. Mercury went into retrograde again. So that could also be part of what we're feeling. But I was very aware that we sort of skipped through a loop. And the fact that the frequency of our planet is higher now than it's ever been before. We've exceeded expectations. The galactic councils that have been watching us, the ascended masters that have been working with us to elevate the consciousness. You wish, okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Brian, that's very sweet. Well, may you have what your heart desires. So, the collective consciousness, our consciousness has risen beyond what was expected. Now, I know it might not feel that way when we look at the world, but you will see evidence of it. You will see evidence of change, of how the world knows, how the world is in support of. Things can't be swept under the rug the way they used to. And the frequency of the planet is faster. The planet is spinning faster, it's going to be spinning faster in the next couple of months. than it's ever been before. So, so that's part of it, Lilith. And then also the Schumann resonance is higher, and that is the consciousness of Mother Earth, and some call it the heartbeat of Mother Earth. All right. So those things, you can imagine. My guides have told me, and this is just what I received, that our consciousness in these bodies are higher than consciousness has ever been on this planet, even higher than the people, the inhabitants of the Atlanteans, even higher than the people who lived in Atlantis. So interesting things are happening right now, and a lot of people are having a lot of the symptoms that pertaining to that. I've also been talking about the fact that we're preparing for a new species coming in onto the planet, where babies born now, the wave coming in, are a different species to us. Yes, they have our genetics, but they're a brand new species. And what I was told, because I channel, the communication I got was that some are waiting for, speaking about preparing for alien contact, and it's not going to happen in the way that we thought. They're not coming in on ships. They're being born of us. They're coming in through the portal that is the divine feminine, the womb. And we're going to help them integrate. So there's a lot happening right now. And what we're feeling, it is exciting times. And what we're feeling now is the split. So we felt the energetic split. We've seen the split. You can see. Some people, you'll come across their content, or you'll listen to people talk and you'll think, what world are they living in? What language are they speaking? Are they serious? And they think the same of you. They think like, oh my God, that's a bit out there. The split is so obvious between those who are still running on the old program and those who have elevated in consciousness. So we've seen evidence of it. We can see systems collapse. We can see new structures come into place. We can see the changes. Those of us who have the vision to see, those who are blind will not see anything. The natural progression of their expectation will unravel to them. And this is not a conversation about people who are chosen and people who are not, because there are no such thing as a chosen people. It's free will. It's literally a choice of. It's a choice. And that doesn't mean that souls are going to be condemned or destined to hell. Hell does not exist. Even they contribute to the evolution. But splits in species have happened before. That's why we have the greys. There are many splits that happened before. So what we're experiencing now, Lilith, as this heaviness and this overwhelming anxiety and that sadness is the emotional split. It's that separation. It is wherever you are right now, doesn't matter who you are, the world you are in. And what you see ahead of you, or how you feel about what you can't see ahead of you, what you expect, whether you feel dread or whether you feel love and hope, that is the emotional culmination of the split, and we're feeling it as a collective. So I'm not saying if you feel sad, I'm saying we're feeling it as a body of one. We're feeling the whole. And when you go through awakening, there's some family members you just can't resonate with anymore. There's some friends that You just don't resonate with anymore. And you have to, you take joy in them going their separate way and you going your separate way, but you still have to grieve. And that's the grieving process. Yeah. Yes, Lilith. But the interesting thing is they can still see us and we can still see them. So sometimes we might think, oh my God, is this my world? Just be very aware of the fact that just because we can see one another doesn't mean we have access to one another. Do you hear what I'm saying? Or that we're in the same frequency, which is an interesting thing because in the 3D reality, we've always had separation. If you're on a radio station, you're not going to hear anything or see anything. You're not going to receive any broadcast from another radio station. So we've gotten comfortable with that. Now imagine your television screen is a big flat screen that's the size of your wall, and you've got a whole lot of screens that you can have access to. It's sort of like our when you look at like a TikTok live where a whole lot of people's videos are there, right? So it's sort of like that. And one person speaks and then the other person speaks, and so they can do that by agreement. But sometimes two people speak when there's a debate, right? But you still get to decide, okay, I'm going to switch all these other things off. I only want access to these things. So it can be very overwhelming and it's very different to what we've gotten used to. Still, yeah, that key word is still. So eventually, yes. Eventually, yes. Even that will evaporate. Yep. But even those who have elevated in consciousness will sometimes drift in and out of their own free will because we're doing that on a daily basis. So we're never going to exist in a reality where there is no contrast. We're always going to have some level of contrast because that's what contributes to evolution, and we're here for evolution. Yeah, yeah. I was listening to someone talk about AI and that it's going to destroy us, and there's always this conversation about destruction. There's always this fear of us being, and I sat back and I thought, if that was a possibility hypothetically, I'm welcoming it. I'm not so attached to being in this body and to this existence. And to me, that is an indication for me that I'm not easily triggered into fear. I'm free. I'm more free than I've ever been. And because that is not a concept or an idea that scares me or frightens me, it's probably not going to be a it's not going to be a probable outcome in my reality. So very, very interesting time. And so what we're experiencing now, Lilith, and I hope that answers your question, is we're grieving we're experiencing the emotional aspect of the split, the emotional body, guidance systems also separating and functioning in a very different way. And what's going to be interesting for us is now we're going to adapt and relearn. We're going to be learning a new upgraded guidance system. And because we're experiencing something that's never been experienced in humanity before, that's going to be interesting to navigate how the guidance system works now. So even new age teachings and concepts are going to be really different. How about trauma release? So what happens is your body is more geared to release old programs than ever before. So where people used to spend years trying to release and work through trauma, it's not going to be that way. the moment you calibrate with your practices and your focus into higher levels of consciousness, your shadow work's going to show itself to you immediately. You're going to use that level of consciousness to meet that shadow work, and it's going to disintegrate. We are not going to be so bound to trauma anymore. The it's free will still exists, but it's not going to be that intense, heavy process anymore. And again, as I say, your guidance system is going to be helping you navigate that. So, for example, uh, what trauma is really a misunderstanding, and I'm not oversimplifying it. When you're a child, you don't know how to interpret your experiences from that limited understanding and a child's mind. You just make decisions about yourself and your world based on an experience. So you misunderstand a lot of it. And what then is your trauma is the resonance of that perspective and how that perspective impacts you. So when you think back on an experience, you see it through the frame of your child mind and not your adult mind. And with the higher level of consciousness now, it's easier for people to, it's easier for people people to understand spiritual concepts. A couple of years ago when I was a kid, it was like a different language. People would not be able to resonate or understand any of it. I used to have to explain things in their terminologies and their language so that they can get it. And now we're just in a different place altogether. So the trauma the experience which has been misunderstood through the lens that is you gets to be reframed through your adult mind, your conscious self, and your wisdom. And so what is happening is, even when your body communicates a symptom, have you noticed how many people go to the doctors and they can't find they can't find what's wrong? They just can't find what's wrong unless there's a growth and they can call it a tumor or a this or a that. They can't find what's wrong most of the time, because even Western medicine is not equipped anymore. Things are moving so quickly. So, and why am I saying that? Because your body has the capacity to maintain health whilst you're experiencing a symptom now. That's never happened before. Before, when the symptom manifests, your body's like it's falling apart. Your body's struggling under the weight of that symptom. And your pain and your symptom is a teacher. So when the teacher would come to say, right, Elif, it's time for you. You're ready. You've had enough lessons. You've got enough experience. You've got enough capacity to now deal with this trauma, with this blockage, with this emotional baggage. So I'm summoning you. By the time that would happen, our bodies would take so much strain that when you went, there was evidence of you'd be diagnosed 1, 2, 3. Because your body was already showing inflammation and signs of decay. Now, the teacher can come, the symptom can show up, and your body maintains its well-being. That's where we are now, right? Still, depending on the soul's free will, if part of what that person has chosen was to have a contrasting experience, where they would want to have something removed or cut out, just then obviously that gets taken into account. But the point I'm making is, it's become so common where people are saying, where we give things a diagnosis or a term, we give it a name, because no doctors actually know what it is or why it exists. The fear of what comes next. Yeah. So what happens now is, by the time your body starts speaking to you, it means you have already caught up with your health. The only thing you want to do is adjust the programming. And once you've set the intention to do that, you don't even have to, it's so instantaneous once you've set the intention to do that. that you meet your discomfort, you meet your dis-ease with love, with grace, with wisdom, with awareness. I'm holding space for this. I don't need to fix it, because the fact that you are here means we've already healed, we've already grown, we've already evolved. And I'm just holding space for that rite of passage. I used to struggle with depression for long bursts. Okay, so partly because of my processing, because of my techniques, but the level of my own level of consciousness has gotten to the point where I will feel something, and it might resemble what existential crisis, but I'm witnessing it. I'm showing myself grace and kindness. I'm taking it easy, and by tomorrow it's gone, or by the end of the day it's gone. We're not staying stuck in the same places anymore. So with trauma, the same thing, and I hope that that gives you, I trust that that gives you hope, because if if no one else comes forward, I'd like to continue heart chakra healing if possible. Okay, perfect. So we'll do that. All right. Okay. All right, Lilith. So let's tune in. Let's connect. We're just going to do a few deep breaths into the heart space. And I want you to breathe into your heart, into your lungs, and I want you to breathe to the count of 4. Hold your breath to the count of 4, and then slowly exhale to the count of 4. And we're just going to do a few of those. So, nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding that breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. And with every out breath, you're going to find yourself settling, your shoulders dropping into relaxation. Every breath that follows, more focused, more deliberate, nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding that breath, filling your lungs to capacity. And then when you release, 1, 2, 3, 4, feeling more and more relaxed. I want you to just focus on your breath coming in and out of the heart space, of the lungs, as I begin to connect to you energetically. Set an intention to welcome the energy. And you've got energy, this beautiful healing energy, this light of energy coming in into the space between the ribs, making its way out the back, as if you have a rod going from the front to the back, and it's infinite, all the way around time, space, and reality. And your heart space begins to open. And I feel that for you today, Lilith, they want to take us on a bit of a journey, because I see us stepping onto a planet. And there's space everywhere. I think this is the moon. Okay, so someone's coming to get me, and I think that they want to show me something. Information. Show me something that is going to be helpful to you. Okay, so the door that's opened is not a door the way we have to a house. It's almost like a door in the floor, in the planet that's opened up. Um, And there's a stairway, a massive one that goes down. It's busy in there. Everyone's very focused, very deliberate, on a mission of sorts. And there's a little girl with pink hair meeting me on the stairway. All right. So Lilith, you feel a very deep connection to the moon. You feel like a pull to there, like really a magnetic pull to there. Does that resonate with you? I'm going to tell you what I see, what they showed me. The little girl met me on the stairway, okay? And there was a lot of different, looked like a lot of different apartments. It's inside of the moon. And everybody seems to be busy there, like a massive organization. It's organized and it's deliberate. This little girl has pink hair. She looks like a doll with like white high socks, knee-high socks or pantyhose, something like that. Oh, that's beautiful, Zara. And then she took me past all of these people to these pods, and these pods are lined up on the edges. And she said, "This is where we are. This is where we work, and we don't grow." And then she showed me that there that they work with, maintain, and read. Not read, measure the frequency of flower life, plant life, but plant life specifically that flowers. And she showed me that when flowers pollinate, oh my gosh, there is a pollination that takes place. I see these spores. We breathe them in. And they've been supporting our elevation in consciousness in this way, and this is how they've worked. And there is a resemblance for those of us who share this connection. They resemble the inner child. So she is Lilith. She is you. And she says sometimes, she showed me sometimes she can feel quite confined. She wishes she had more freedom. And that's why she chose to come and incarnate into, that's why you chose to come and incarnate into your body as a human this time around. And this would explain a lot of things to you. That is what I was told. So that is what I was shown. And if you need some interpretation with that, if some of that is not making sense to you, of course you can let me know. But what I'm going to do now is we're going to connect to the energy. Your connection to and the support from the flowers, from plant life, that flowers, and that's why they follow you everywhere. Wherever you go, things begin to flower. that is how you receive that. You can tap into that for your heart health. So let's do that together now, because it's open, the energies are open. And you are, Lilith, very connected to the little people of our planet, fairies and leprechauns and all of those kinds of things. So you can feel that energy. If you just focus back into your heart space, you'll feel the energy. And there's another rod coming from the ground up through you, right through your center. So it's as if there's a cross, right? So you've got going that way, and then you've got going that way. So we're going to channel this energy for you, and you're going to feel it coming from all sides into the heart space. Thank you, Spirit. And she also told me, Lilith, that she communicated with me telepathically that there is some sadness or some grief around having children, or something pertaining to having a child or something like that, or a child. And you're being grounded into the grids. And she says, don't hide. You spent enough time in the pods. Get out there, enjoy the planet. When the flowers see you, they dance. Yes. And now I'm just seeing the energy of so many animal spirits just coming around you, drawing near, sniffing you out. And the goddess Ostara, do you know her? The goddess of Easter. Easter is named after a pagan goddess, Ostara, for those who don't know, who celebrate Easter. She's the goddess of fertility, of spring, of new life, of blossoms. Right. How do you feel, Lilith? You are in a very different place. Your Anahata is in a very different place. Very different place. Zara, that's beautiful. Open and receptive. Very different place. What a beautiful energy. Lilith, does your heart feel lighter? Yes. Can you feel a sense of joy growing in your heart? Or even it might just be small still. Just feeling a bit of happiness, it's just lighter. Allow that joy is going to grow. That happiness is going to expand. Your heart is in a very different place. Wow. Beautiful. I'm glad that you're feeling relieved and that you're feeling better. Thank you for being open and receptive to that journey, to that healing. Wow. You are part of a collective of small people, childlike people that I've met for the first time today that helps to balance, to support the consciousness of the planet, the health and the well-being through pollen. Wow. That was interesting, Lilith. Okay. Beautiful. Such a beautiful journey. And I'm just going to bask in that beautiful energy that I got to be a part of now. And I'm going to thank those of you who have been here to receive, to be open to some healing, for being here. And I'm going to wish you a beautiful Thursday night. Make the most of the energies for release, surrender, and cleansing that's available to you on this beautiful Thursday night. You were wondering how you were able to keep young. Now you know. You looked like a doll. Wow. And remember, guys, Mercury is in retrograde. So don't text the exes. Don't try and rehash the past. Be mindful of the drama. Go in love and light. Rest well. Take care. And just bask in the energy, Lilith. Okay. All right. So I'll see you again soon.